How to care for your gun dog. If you're an avid hunter, your dog is both a trusted part of your family and a vital hunting companion. Hunting dogs need some extra training and care that a stay-at-home dog might not need, and it's important to ensure that your dog is well cared for before, during, and after a hunting trip. Learning how to care for your gun dog can help ensure a successful hunting season and many more to come. Part 1. Caring for your dog at home. Schedule regular vet appointments. Most dogs should have veterinary checkups at least once each year, but with hunting dogs, you may need semi-annual checkups. Hunting dogs are often exposed to the elements, insects, and a high risk of injury out in the field. Because of these risks, it's important to keep an eye on your dog's health and condition. Be sure your dog is up to date on all of his vaccinations. You may also want to consider vaccinating against Lyme disease, as your gun dog may be at risk in the field. Keep on top of your dog's monthly flea, tick prevention and heartworm medication, if needed in your region. Ask your vet about these and any other preventative medications your dog may need. Regular checkups are particularly important if your gun dog is in his senior years. Many health issues, including diabetes, thyroid problems, and kidney ailments, tend to develop quickly over a short period of time. Senior dogs may also develop painful arthritis in their joints, which could limit their abilities and require additional medications. Give your dog a proper diet. Your hunting dog needs a nutritious diet that can provide him with a lot of energy. That means his food should be high in calories that he can burn to stay warm and active out in the field. Try feeding your gun dog a nutrient-dense dog food to maximize his dietary intake. Your gun dog's food should be high in fat. Some experts recommend giving hunting dogs food with a 20% fat content. The ideal fat content should balance omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids with a ratio between 5:1 and 10:1. Starches and grains will not provide your dog with sufficient energy. Some grain is good for dogs, but your gun dog will need a diet rich in animal-based protein, which can be found in lean meats like chicken. Be sure your dog has sufficient water. He will get thirsty running through the woods and fields with you, and will need clean drinking water along the way. Exercise your dog. Regular exercise is an important part of dog ownership, but it's particularly important for hunting dogs. In addition to your usual day-to-day walking, running exercises, you should prepare your dog for the rigors of hunting in the wilderness. If your dog has put on extra pounds during the off-season, you may need to use an accelerated training program to get your dog into hunting shape. A healthy, non-obese dog will need approximately 6 to 8 weeks to get in shape for hunting season. Your dog's ability to control his breathing while sniffing for animal scents is vital for a successful hunting trip. If your dog is out of breath from running, he'll have a harder time picking up and keeping an animal's tracks. Aerobic exercise is important for hunting dogs. If your dog is out of shape, work on exercising your dog at a slower pace over a longer workout time to optimize his endurance. Some experts recommend using light-weight training for hunting dogs during preseason training. You can do this by attaching a small tire to your dog's harness during his walks, which will build muscles while also giving him an aerobic workout. But be careful not to overload your dog, as he can easily become injured with too much weight or too intense a workout. Make sure your dog is well hydrated before, during, and after his workout. Groom your dog. Grooming is an important part of maintaining any dog's health and wellness. Your gun dog's grooming will depend on his breed, his coat, and the conditions in which you will be hunting. In warm summer months, you may want to have a professional groomer trim your dog's coat a little shorter. It will help keep him cool and will also allow his coat to dry faster after swimming, which can help reduce the chances of a bacterial infection forming under his wet, matted fur. Brush your dog's coat at least once a week when he's shedding. You should also brush him after any hunting trip to remove snags and dirt, and also to check for ticks. Keep your dog's nails trimmed to a manageable length to prevent cracked nails and injured toes. Part 2. Refreshing your dog's training. Reinforce the place command. The place command is how you will keep your dog stationary while you hunt for game. While your dog may be used to the sit, stay commands on a flat, comfortable floor, he will need to get used to staying in one place on any kind of terrain. Create a place for your dog to sit and stay by putting a small piece of plywood over an old tire lying on its side. This will elevate the dog a few inches off the ground without making him too uncomfortable. Use a treat to guide your dog to his small stand. Keep practicing until your dog can see you point to the stand and say, "Place," and go there on his own. As your dog becomes familiar with the command, add other stands around the yard. Then use the place command for surfaces that aren't flat or stable, like a park bench or a downed log. Train with a launcher or winger. Remote launchers allow you to train your dog to chase, track down, and guard a downed animal. Wingers accomplish the same goals, but with a giant slingshot. You can use a dummy bird to get your dog accustomed to chasing downed birds in the wild. You can also adjust the angle and distance that the launcher fires the dummy so that your dog can train for all kinds of scenarios. You can find remote-controlled launchers and manually operated wingers in many hunting supply stores or online. Both training tools will teach your dog to look up in the sky and out across the landscape to find falling birds. Talk to a qualified hunting dog trainer if you're unsure of which model would work best to train your breed of gun dog. Use scent training. A good way to get your dog used to chasing a scent, or train him to do so, is to use a scent-infused training dummy. This device can be tied to a 6-foot cord and dragged through tall grass or a homemade obstacle course, with treats left either at the end or along the way. Try lifting the scented dummy periodically as you drag it so that there are occasional breaks in the scent trail. This will get your dog used to looking for a scent and picking it back up when there is a gap. Consider using a roll cage. A roll cage is a specialized container made of wire. It's used to train gun dogs by placing a live raccoon inside. The dog learns to sniff out the animal, pursue it, and safely keep it in place without any risk of being bitten by the animal. This tool is primarily used to build a dog's confidence and get him accustomed to tracking and cornering prey, if he has not already been trained to do so. Part 3. Taking your dog hunting. Use safety gear. Whenever you take your gun dog into the woods for a hunting trip, you run the risk that he might be mistaken for a wild animal. He could also inadvertently enter another hunter's shot if he is not clearly visible. That's why it's best to outfit your dog with proper safety gear before heading into the field, and keeping it on your dog until you return safely home. Buy a blaze orange vest for your dog to wear at all times in the field. Get a reflective collar for your dog. Some experts advise that breakaway style is best for field collars. Make sure your dog's collar has his proper identification on it. That way, if your dog becomes separated from you in the field, he can be identified and returned safely to your home. Protect your dog from extreme temperatures. Depending on when and where you go hunting, your gun dog may be exposed to extreme heat or cold. Dogs are well suited to outdoor activities, of course, but it's important to protect your dog in any weather extreme, especially if inclement weather conditions are a risk. Dogs may need more high-calorie and high-fat food when they spend a lot of time outdoors in the cold. If at all possible, try to provide your dog with some type of shelter from the rain. Make sure he has a warm, clean blanket to burrow into when he gets back to your cabin or vehicle after a long day in cold weather. If your dog will get wet, either from precipitation or from running into a body of water, make sure you have plenty of dry, clean towels to help him clean up at the end of the day. Overheating and heat stroke are common issues hunting dogs face. Dogs can still experience these conditions after swimming, as getting wet doesn't necessarily lower the dog's body temperature to a safe level. Signs of overheating include panting and/or hyperventilation, excessive salivation, glassy eyes, lack of coordination, and an altered mental state. These symptoms may also be accompanied by vomiting or diarrhea. Pack a thermometer in your emergency kit and bring it with you in the field. Take your dog's temperature after a day of training or running, walking on a cool day so you get a baseline temperature for your dog after strenuous activity and can properly gauge his symptoms on a hot day. If your dog experiences overheating or heat stroke in the field, you'll need to cool him down fast. Hold on to your dog and lead him into cool water, and try to keep him there. Don't let go of his collar, as he may be at risk for fainting. Apply an ice pack on the hairless part of your dog's belly and in his armpits or groin to cool him off fast, and try to get him back into an air-conditioned environment, such as your vehicle, as quickly as possible. Keep your dog safe from snakes. Depending on where you live and hunt, your dog may be at risk of snakebite while out in the field. You probably don't think too much about it for your own safety, as snakes tend to flee when they sense a human's heavy footsteps approaching. But because dogs weigh less, run more, and are lower to the ground, they are significantly more at risk of being bitten by a snake than a human hunter. Carry a rattlesnake vaccine in your emergency kit anytime you go hunting. Red Rock Biologics have developed a hunter-friendly vaccine kit that could save your dog's life if he's bitten in the field. These vaccine kits can be purchased online or from some outdoor gear retailers for approximately $30 to $40 per dose. Try to stay clear of snake habitats by avoiding prairie dog colonies, old abandoned buildings, and rocky south-facing slopes in the field. Some trainers will teach hunting dogs to stay away from snakes by exposing them to defanged rattlesnakes and using an electronic collar to zap the dog if he shows any interest in the snake. This type of training may be difficult to find, or it may frighten you as the dog's owner, and you should consult with your veterinarian before proceeding with such a training regimen. Don't forget like and subscribe my channel and click on bell button for more videos.